Kevin Polky is joining us this morning from KP Counseling with Lil Zim and JB on Q98.5. And Zim wants to start off with her question first.
So with the rain, I don't know if that played a part of it, but I kind of realized yesterday, man, I have no motivation to do anything. It's a whole lot easier and more appealing to just lay on the couch and watch Netflix, which is something I don't want to do. Do you have any advice, like how to stay motivated and stay busy and not get depressed during these crazy times?
Yeah, I mean, probably the number one thing is being able to provide yourself a structure, and even if it is ideally the night before, you then set up a routine or a structure of what you want to do, either for yourself or for you and the family, to do the next day. And then similar to like a checkoff list, you just start checking those things off. And maybe they're going to be projects, or maybe they're going to be particular time periods of the day you're going to be doing things. And a lot of times, if we set something up the night before, because we'll be more motivated on Sunday night, do something on Monday than when we first wake up on Monday morning. And then trusting that process that if I just start whatever's on my list, as I get into it, more and more energy will come from that.
It's Lil Zim and JB in the morning on Q98.5, talking with Kevin Polky from KP Counseling. When it comes to our kids, as we try to be that buffer between the doom and gloom news, what advice would you give a parent in regards to talking to their kids about what's going on right now?
Well, again, it goes back down to each situation is going to be a little bit different, because the parent is actually going to know their children the best. Because some children are just going to be, they're upset because their routines got disrupted, or because they're not able to see their friends at school. Others may be more concerned about a specific thing. So I think probably the first thing I would do is, before I start giving them information, is I'd be asking them, what do they already know? What are they aware of? And because there may be information that they have current that may not be accurate. There's a lot of information out there right now that seems to be not accurate, seems to be either exaggerated, or we're just getting bits of it. So I'd first want to encourage parents to start with asking their youth, what do they know, what are their concerns, and kind of dive into asking more questions about what those concerns are, and not jump to making it just want to go away.
We all know there has been a stigma attached to admitting that you're suffering from fear or anxiety or depression, or you're just stressed in general. So for those that are affected by it, maybe not us, if we're not affected by it individually, we know someone that is affected by this, we should probably go and make sure that they are okay, either through a phone call or a text or even an email. Definitely some sort of communication.
Well, and you're right. I think one of the things, unfortunately, is that if someone going into this already had a propensity toward either anxiety or some level of depression or some level of their own sense of trauma that has happened, then this particular piece, especially the tie to it of being the unknown, not knowing for sure how long this is going to last and how disruptive that it is to people's normal routine. And their normal routine is what provides that safety and structure. So those are all things that are amplifying someone, especially if they had concerns going on prior to this. So reaching out to them, which we all can do digitally now or through a telephone call, but also encouraging or asking them, have they been in contact with their counselor? Have they been in contact with their therapist? All the therapists today are available through the governor to do telehealth. So all the red tape that we once had regarding that, how is that going to work out as far as reimbursement, all that is taken away right now. So all the companies that I'm aware of locally are all providing telehealth services, which is either through the telephone themselves or through like a computer platform such as like a Zoom or a Skype or something like that. So digital counseling right now, I would highly encourage people, if they're struggling with being in that darkness, encouraging their loved ones or significant others to reach out to their therapist or reach out to an agency.
We're talking to Kevin Polky of KP Counseling, and you mentioned all these teleservices. So I'm assuming that is something you are doing as well?
Yes, yeah. We were, about 2 weeks ago, we have been doing it for a while, but two weeks ago we started experimenting with a couple of my therapists who had some of their own health issues, compromised immune systems, so they had been working at home even before the governor had a band, even more so, that put that band on there. And then last week, we had all our sessions done on telehealth or through digital counseling. So we're either doing that through the phone for individual counseling or through some type of video platform. but we're also doing our group counselings as well.
Is there a way that new clients can reach you? Are they open for services right now?
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, we know right now, especially, matter of fact, in the midst of all this, I hired 2 new therapists coming into this time period, and one of them starts today. And so we are taking on new clients because we know that this is a time for people that may have been struggling but may not have reached out. And now with this uncertainty and then, like you said, the isolation and the break in the routine and the normal distractions of normal life have been taken away. So all that stuff is starting to bubble up now. And so we are definitely open to seeing new clients as well as existing clients.
Kevin Polky is joining us on Q98.5. Before we let you go, do you have anything, any advice or anything you want to get out publicly that maybe people need to be aware of, or just kind of like a message of hope? Anything related to that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, during this time period, I believe there is light in this darkness. I do believe that light comes from within us, and us being kind, not only to ourselves and compassionate to ourselves, but also to our neighbors, to our family, and to our friends, being able to reach out and be able to provide that light for other people during this dark time period. Some people are going to need extra assistance, and please reach out to those individuals and allow them to know that there are resources through the different counseling agencies in the area to offer that and to encourage them to contact someone. For some, it may actually even be easier now because we can do it through a digital counseling platform than it would be. And we can do everything either over the phone or through email to get someone set up, and then we can get that started.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for taking some time to talk to us today. I think the point you just made about, I mean, for me, I'm looking for the good, looking for the helpers, and I'm trying to focus on that kind of information that you can find every day. So thank you for taking some time to talk to us today.
Not a problem. Thank you guys for doing what you're doing and being part of the solution and trying to be an antidote to the problem.